Welcome to the Wealth Beyond Debt Show. I'm your host, Billy, and alongside me is John. Today's topic is good debt versus bad debt and understanding the difference. Debt is a pervasive aspect of modern financial life, and understanding its nuances is crucial for achieving financial well-being. Many people view debt as inherently negative, associating it with stress and financial strain. However, not all debt is created equal. This episode aims to shed light on the crucial differences between good debt and bad debt, or assets and liability, empowering you to make informed financial decisions that can improve your long-term financial situation. By grasping the concepts presented here, you may be able to strategically use debt to your advantage, while simultaneously avoiding the pitfalls of debt that can hinder your progress. Welcome to our discussion on debt, focusing on the fine line between good debt and bad debt.
I'm really looking forward to this. So, where do we start with this topic?
Let's begin with the basics. Debt itself. Debt is essentially an obligation to pay back money or something of value, right? And it shows up in various forms like loans or lines of credit.
Yeah, it's interesting how debt as a tool isn't inherently good or bad. It really depends on how you use it.
Exactly. It's like, think of debt as it's like a hammer. It can build a house or knock it down if used wrong.
Right, and that ties directly into the concept of good debt versus bad debt.
Absolutely. Good debt is typically associated with investments that appreciate in value or generate income over time, like, say, a student loan that elevates your career prospects or a mortgage that lets you own property.
And bad debt, on the other hand, is more about financing liabilities, things that quickly drain your resources, like high-interest credit card balances, right?
Exactly. Bad debt is usually tied to consumer debt, which doesn't really build long-term value, like using credit for non-essential purchases that you can't immediately pay off.
It's almost as if it's a trap, fast money that leads to a cycle of high-interest payments and eventually financial strain.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And understanding the nuances is crucial because it empowers you to make informed decisions and avoid the pitfalls.
So let's break it down. What makes debt good in terms of its characteristics?
Good debt usually has a lower interest rate and is used to finance assets that are likely to appreciate over time. Think education, for instance. Student loans can increase your earning potential. Also, a mortgage can be good since property values tend to rise in the long run.
And that's really empowering because it turns what many see as a burden into a tool for growth.
Exactly. When you use debt strategically, it can work like an investment. For example, a business loan for expanding operations might lead to more revenue, making the debt pay for itself eventually.
Although I sometimes wonder if labeling debt as good might downplay the risks involved. Don't you think there's a danger if things don't work out?
That's a fair point, and I'm glad you brought it up. Even good debt has risks if mismanaged. It's about balancing the potential return with your ability to meet repayment schedules. The key is strategy and planning.
And on the flip side, bad debt, like credit cards used for non-essentials, often comes with exorbitant interest rates.
Right. High interest debt can quickly spiral out of control. It's all about those small recurring charges that pile up and lead to a diminished credit score.
Speaking of credit scores, it's incredible how much debt management can affect your financial health in that regard.
Absolutely. Missed payments or defaulting on loans not only hurt your ability to borrow in the future, but also impact other areas like renting a home or even job prospects. Responsible use is absolutely crucial.
It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? So, how can someone manage their debt wisely and steer clear of the pitfalls of bad debt?
Well, one of the best strategies is budgeting. Create a clear budget that distinguishes between needs and wants. By focusing on necessities, you can avoid falling into that credit trap. And sticking to paying off high interest balances prevents the damage to your credit score.
Budgeting really is the cornerstone of good financial planning. And I've heard that techniques like the Snowball or Avalanche methods can really help manage repayment efforts, right?
Exactly. Those methods can be very effective. The Snowball method, where you pay off the smallest debts first, builds momentum, while the Avalanche method targets high-interest debts first, saving you money in the long term.
It's like choosing whether you want a quick morale boost or a long-term reduction in interest costs.
Exactly. It's a balancing act. And sometimes combining debt consolidation strategies, like getting a lower interest rate on a single consolidated loan, can really help simplify things.
That makes sense, making your debt easier to manage overall. But tell me, what about situations where taking on debt is part of a long-term plan, like buying a home or starting a business?
That's where leveraging good debt really comes in. For instance, a mortgage for a home purchase often represents a good investment since property typically appreciates. A business loan, if managed well, can expand operations and lead to greater income. These debts can be strategic steps toward achieving long-term financial objectives.
It's interesting because, on paper, debt often gets a bad rap, but when used wisely, it can actually enhance your financial standing over time.
Right, this isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, purpose, and lasting wealth. We believe true success goes far beyond numbers. It's about mindset, well-being, and creating a life you don't need to escape from. Our mission is simple: to empower you with the knowledge, motivation, and clarity to live debt-free, build real wealth, and thrive in every area of life. Each episode brings you stories, strategies, and inspiration to help you unlock your full potential. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and here on our website to stay connected, and share our podcast with friends and family who are ready to rise higher with you. Together, we're building a future of strength, balance, and freedom. It's all about using debt as a lever. It's not just about borrowing money, it's about borrowing smart and investing in things that yield a positive return.
And that includes being mindful of interest rates and the repayment terms attached to the debt, correct?
Exactly. Lower interest rates and manageable repayment schedules are hallmarks of good debt. High interest, short repayment terms, those are red flags. They tend to lead to more financial strain.
So, in a way, understanding and managing debt becomes an ongoing balancing act between risk and reward.
Absolutely. And to further ensure stability, it's smart to integrate strategies like increasing income through side hustles. This extra income can be funneled into paying down debt faster, helping you reach a debt-free state sooner.
That's a great point. It shows that while managing debt well is key, proactive income generation plays an equally important role.
And paying off debt also directly influences your credit score, which in turn affects everything from future loans to interest rates on new credit. It's a cycle that, if managed prudently, creates a positive financial feedback loop. Absolutely.
What about the psychology behind debt? Individuals often develop stress from high levels of debt, even if it's technically good debt. How do you see that factor?
That's a good challenge. Even with good debt, the burden of repayment can cause worry, so it's important to have a realistic plan and not over-leverage yourself. It's like walking a tightrope where even the best tools can become a trap if you lose your balance.
Exactly, and that's why financial education is so important. Knowing how to differentiate between debt that adds value and debt that just adds pressure.
Right. In the long run, good debt should enhance your net worth and financial freedom, while bad debt can limit your options and restrict your financial growth. Keeping them separate in your mind is essential for long-term financial planning. It's about aligning debt with your overall objectives.
And it's reassuring to know that even if you have some debt, strategic management and smart borrowing can ultimately work to your advantage.
Absolutely. Strategic use of debt, especially through investments like education, property, or business ventures, can be a healthy part of your financial portfolio. It requires discipline, but the rewards can be significant.
This discussion really highlights how debt isn't just a negative mark on one's record. It can actually be an essential tool when used correctly.
For sure, and I think a key takeaway is to always approach borrowing with a plan, know your repayment capabilities, understand the terms, and always be on the lookout for opportunities to turn debt into an investment rather than a liability. That's the strategic mindset required.
And on that note, it seems we're all better equipped to assess our personal debts, ensuring we build wealth rather than traps.
Exactly. So whether you're dealing with a mortgage, a business loan, or even making a choice about a credit card purchase, think of it as part of a bigger financial strategy. Let the debt work for you, not against you.
Well said. This conversation definitely sheds light on the intricacies of debt. I feel more empowered to ask, is this debt working for me, before making any financial decisions?
Exactly. It all comes down to knowledge, planning, and a healthy dose of common sense.
Thanks for a really insightful chat. Here's to making smarter financial decisions and ensuring our debt, if any, is truly good debt.
Absolutely. And for anyone out there navigating the world of debt, remember, understand your options, strategize, and always plan for the long term. Cheers to financial well-being.
I was buried under $50,000 in credit card debt. How did I let it get that far? But with Debt Free Made Easy, I'm now completely debt-free. Can you imagine that?
I used to stress about money every single day, thinking I'd never be free from my debts. But now, I'm living my dream life.
I was overwhelmed with a mortgage and personal loans totaling $200,000. I never thought I could regain control. Debt Free Made Easy made it happen.
I had over $100,000 in student loans. I thought I'd be paying them off forever, but now I'm free.
So join the thousands who have transformed their lives. Visit debtfreemadeeasy.com today and discover what's possible for you.
Thanks so much, Billy, for guiding us through another wonderful show. And to our amazing listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Wealth Beyond Debt show. If you found today's conversation valuable, please hit like, share this episode, and help more people maintain their mental health. We'd also love to hear from you. Drop a comment with topics you'd like us to cover next. We're all in this together, fighting against the big banks and putting your money back in your pockets. In understanding the difference between good debt versus bad debt, it is essential to recognize how various types of debt can impact your financial situation. Good debt, such as student loans or a mortgage, is often considered an investment in your future, as it can enhance your earning potential and lead to financial stability. On the other hand, bad debt, like high-interest credit card debt or payday loans, can burden you with heavy financial risks and affect your credit score negatively. This was a quick overview. To get the full details, read our blog on our website. Link is in the description box.